2 wins in a row, 2 goals for Adrian Rabiot. But today, 3 guests for you on the Turin Giants. How's it going? We got Dash and that Culture Boy, the whole crew's here. How you guys doing today? Good. Go on,
Good,
somebody.
good. Yeah, I'm doing good. 3 points, that's all that matters. So anything, I'm always happy after a win.
I'm just riding the Monsieur Le Pizza wave right now.
Okay, I don't know what Lapite means, but
Isn't it rabbit in French?
Lapin.
Oh, Le Père. Oh,
I don't speak French.
Lapin. Monsieur Lapin
Le
is
Père.
Adrien Rabiot. The joke is, we're all guilty of it. Autocorrect. You try to put in Rabiot, comes out as Rabbit. And he just has such a gentlemanly man bun that he's a Monsieur. So, Monsieur Lapin, our boy Rabiot, with a brace. I can still hardly believe it. But hey, I mean, I think you cut my reaction yesterday, and I had to hold it back because your stream wasn't cut up yet, and I was just like, I was like bundling it all up.
He did move like a rabbit yesterday. I mean, like that run he made. I mean, I thought it was a great run, and then like the hops that he had for that header. I mean, we got to shout out to his mom for whatever hairspray she used for his ponytail, because that's the only way that thing went in. But
it was tight last night, man.
Oh yeah, it was insane, pure madness. I think we're just like, what do we do? Like, we're just live watch along, and we're just kind of like, did this just happen? This happened. Like we have our second goal reaction on Twitter up on our Twitter that we shared. So you guys want to check that out and see kind of how we responded to it, because I think we're just like, huh?
Alex, what was your reaction to it?
I was honestly surprised, because not for nothing, the first goal, he scored a goal like that already. I forgot what game it was, but he scored something very similar, and even the Milan game was like that banger he scored. But the second goal with the header, I was completely surprised, because lately, when do you see Juventus even score a header?
McKennie.
Milik.
Yeah, or Milik now. Yeah,
that's true. But like as of late, like Juventus haven't been scoring off set pieces or exactly. So it's like it's surprising to see, but it's a welcome addition, because also 3 goals in 2 games. So actually in both games rather, but.
Here's a hard-hitting question from Massimo Lesti. Juve casual staying mad at how influential Rabiot is for the team. He's an unquestionable starter for me at the moment. Will he stay in form, do you think? That is the magic question, isn't it? Will he stay in form? I think I've heard the murmurings, because it is a contract year. Yeah, Alex, I think, was it you that said that? I think you came out with that.
Yeah. I made a short today, literally on this, and I said how I think I think Rabiot's a starter in Allegri's head and on this team, even when Pogba's fit. I think, like he said, the midfield is Pogba, Paredes, Rabiot. That's how he envisions it, and honestly, that's how I see it too. When you have Pogba in the squad, he's going to be much more of an attacking player than Rabiot would be, and I'm assuming Pogba is going to play on the left-hand side. So, yeah, Rabiot's going to have to be the engine, essentially, in the midfield, and I see it happening as long as he's healthy.
Yeah, Dash?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think right now, if you guys were to rewind the tape and ask us who we thought the most influential midfielder is, it's not Rabiot. We probably would have said some different names, but I think right now, and here's an interesting stat: the games that Rabiot has played in, we have not conceded. So that to me is like, wow, I did not expect that.
Well, we did concede yesterday.
Well, in theory, yeah, but
yeah. But we'll touch on that later.
We'll touch on it. But the games going up into the Maccabi Haifa game, when Rabiot has played, we did not concede, or we weren't broken down defensively. Yesterday, that goal was not a defensive. That was whatever the hell that was. That was probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. But he's been really good, and you notice the midfield plays a little bit different with Rabiot on the pitch. We made that argument a couple weeks ago, where we were saying that I think if we just have Rabiot focus on defensive duties, he'll fly, he'll flourish, he'll succeed. I think this season's a season where actually he can just sit back and just focus on being a heat-seeking missile on the ball, essentially just disrupting plays, using his body, making interceptions, which is what we saw. And I think, and to be honest, I think that run for him opened up because they were focused on the other two midfielders that we had at the pitch at the time. So McKennie and Paredes, where a lot of Maccabe's defenders were focused on those two, and that opens up an angle for Rabiot to slide in, and he made a play. I mean, it's as simple as that. Even with the header, making a play, and that's the difference between good teams and great teams, in my opinion. Good teams have a good system that they follow all the time. I think great teams are players that try to do a system or try to play, but you have one or two individual moments where a player can make a play. And spade a spade, Rabiot made a play yesterday, made two really good plays.
And you say an engine, he was like a steam engine the way he was coming in on that first goal. Like,
Yeah.
There was nothing was stopping. The unfortunate thing is usually he just completely whiffs it because he does come in like that.
Yeah, he
But
did
yesterday-
he did have that really heavy touch that we saw. It was after he scored that goal. I think it was on the right side where he did the
After he
same thing.
completely Rabiot it there.
He
yeah.
Rabiot it. But, I mean, kudos to him. I think he's probably trying to secure a spot as a World Cup starter. Don't blame him because he missed the last one. So I think there's a bunch of external factors. Again, contract year, World Cup year. There's plenty of it that's going into it.
Sure.
But the thing is I don't care. We're benefiting off of his performances right now. We need to get some momentum going. We need to get some steam in the engine per se. And right now he's supplying it. So keep doing what you're doing.
So we mentioned Tech there, the mistake. Dash, you lost your mind immediately. We kind of know where you're at with that, Alex. What was your take on that mistake?
I feel like these lapse in concentration are like so common within this Juventus side. I'm sorry that it's like happening a lot, and especially. I'm sorry, excuse me one second.
It's okay. We all do this. We all get into these
I'm
moments.
sorry, especially with Chesney lately. He's been having those issues like we saw last season, right? Take the Udinese game. Like you can't have those two blunders just out of nothing, and that was essentially what happened yesterday. And honestly, I wasn't surprised because I feel like Juventus have been playing too well lately. Like usually they've been only playing for like 15 minutes or something like that. But lately they've been holding the ball and continuing to play. So it was almost expected that they were going to stop playing or something was going to go wrong. I kind of expected it.
We still have a Rabiot out. Sharif, I think you're supposed to contact me about a sticker pack or something. Make
He's
sure
just
you do
trolling.
that.
He's just bantering.
Yeah, he is. He's got the smiley face in.
And it always happens, like whether it's an international break, post or pre-international break, where Chesney does something weird like that. But it's just like I watched the play again, and I'm like, Bremer wasn't that far off. And like the thing is like, dude, if you missed that, like if he hit him because the guy dribbled the ball away from him, if he hit him, that's easily a red card for him right there. Because he's way out of the box.
Yeah, like that was so dangerous.
That was because the thing is like, so I can't show that because Paramount's gonna copyright the crap out of us, but
Yeah.
like if I were to show you the clip, it's essentially the guy didn't even take a touch on the ball yet when Chesney bum rushed him. So the guy still would have, if Chesney held his line, the guy still would have had to take a touch. That would have automatically slowed him down, which gave Bremer an opening window to at least obstruct him or get in his way. Because the thing is yeah, it was just poor decision making on Chesney. I don't think it was Maccabi really breaking us down per se. But the good news is even though we blundered it, we still pushed forward. We still kept trying to get another goal instead of like, oh crap, let's sit back for a minute.
That was your big takeaway yesterday. You were saying that
Yeah.
they continued with it.
They didn't sit with a 2-1 lead. I'll say that for sure.
I mean, it was exciting, and one of the reasons why it was so exciting is that Maccabi did continue to push on. Yes, they lacked the clinical touch. We're going to talk about our lack of clinicians. If you, how do you say it? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
Our lack of finish.
Yeah, because
specifically with Vlahovic.
With Susan.
Yeah, with Suzanne Vlahovic.
Suzanne.
The other autocorrect. But Maccabi, especially in that second half there, I think it only counted as 1 or 2 on the stat sheet, but really, the way I look at it, 4 posts. They had 4 posts. Um, I'm still not 100% sure. I don't think Tech did get his fingers on that one. I think it was the third one.
I think it
But
was
Yeah, I
it's
think
hard
he
to say.
touched. Yeah, I think he
Did he?
touched one of them.
one of them, and then the other ones were clearly outside of the like post, but outside of post. Like it wasn't really threatening.
Yeah, but I mean, any other day, and that goes in.
They
And
were
you know,
Of course,
they were a
I
little
mean,
too close for comfort, and that's kind of an overarching theme for both teams.
yeah,
Is they had their chances, and I mean inches essentially, but now
yeah,
Vlahovic, I mean break rate. I feel like it's I'm drunk and I'm playing FIFA and I just smashed the B button and
yeah. I'm gonna be honest with this. Is his finishing is almost Murata esque. One on one with Alvaro Murata taking stuff. It to me is like you're a $70 million striker and you're getting probably arguably paid the highest on the team right now. You got to finish those, man. Like that's the difference of you hitting that top elite level and you being like a Quagliarella or like a mid-table, like a mid-level, or bottom top half of a striker. Because like the goal he scored, great, phenomenal. Looked at the keeper, slotted it right through his legs, perfect. But there's some other stuff where I'm looking at this, I'm like, dude, one, relax, stop trying to force it, and two, you got to be able to finish some of these chances because like he had a conversion rate of about 25%, so he was 1 for 4. And then that's not even including any shots out of target, but I'm just saying stuff that he's put in at the keeper. Like I expect Keane to finish like that because he doesn't have enough game time. But Vlahovic, I really think Vlahovic needs to take a lesson out of Milik's book because just you look at Milik, I mean, he's probably got one of the best shots to conversion rates out there right now. And again, I'm not knocking Vlahovic. Dude's still young. He's 22 years old. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, this guy's a wash. We shouldn't have bought him. We should have, team Milik man or whatever. But he's got to learn, man, because like the thing about Holland that's separating him, and it's on our podcast, episode 201. It's on YouTube, also Spotify and SoundCloud. Holland knows where to be. Vlahovic, to me, right yet at the moment, doesn't know where he should play. I still think he's in that Fiorentina mindset where I need to be in a certain position to do this. Where instead of again, great players make plays. Di Maria made plays. Rabiot made plays. Vlahovic needs to start making more plays because right now the thing about Milik versus Vlahovic is Milik is able to create something out of nothing. He is able to make a play, whether it be the header against Benfica, the hip thrust goal against Fiorentina. There's instances where you see it where Milik lines up with the center back and then he knows the ball is coming and he pulls back last second, so he has the space, so he finds the ball and then slots it in. Vlahovic isn't there yet. I think he needs a little bit more time, a little bit more experience, and he'll get there. But my concern is we're going to be put in important situations, like, for example, against Milan on Saturday, or even against Benfica in Portugal or PSG, where qualification's on the line, and he's your number 9. He's your guy for the future. He's the reason the whole Dybala fiasco happened at the end of last year. Not taking sides of it right now, but there's a lot of things behind this guy, and this guy, he's got to perform. He has to do it.
Yeah, and he even admitted it. So, I mean, that's the first step. I think was it the 9 steps to rehabilitation? How many steps do you have to take to rehab?
It's like 5.
Okay, whatever.
I think it's 5.
Something like, you know what I'm trying to get at. First step is admittance. But yeah, I've noticed a few new people around here. Alex, why don't you promote your channel a bit? Maybe they don't know, or maybe they are coming from your channel. Who knows? But
hey everyone. Hopefully I'm not slurring my words this time, but I'm that I'm that cultural boy. My name's Alex. I'm also a Juventus channel. But I take things, I guess, from a different perspective. I do anything from my take on the game or my opinion. And I also just throw in some like Juventus history here and there and anything, along Juventus lines. So if you're interested, that culture boy on YouTube.
And he's got it right there underneath his pretty face. It says, "Yeah, just put the @ in front of there. You're good to go on Twitter as well."
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, man, I love your channel. It's really good content. It's got that niche. It's a little bit different than anyone else, so it's nice. It's refreshing, and it's really to the point. It's no bullshit essentially.
Yeah.
To put it simply, you just bam, here it is, which I
I
love.
appreciate it.
And thanks for coming on. This is
Of course.
twice now in 1 week, so I mean I know you're busy, especially this week too. So it's awesome to have everyone on. I mean, the more the merrier. So
Of course. Anytime.
thank you. So let's get into a little stat here. We're gonna talk Di Maria, of course. We have to talk Di Maria, but we're gonna start it off with these numbers. He now has the second most assists. He overtook Messi yesterday for assists in the UCL. He is 4 off pace Ronaldo at 42. So, I mean, we have a Champions League assist man extraordinaire right now. And he just got 3 of them yesterday. He was at 35. He's now at 38. Took second place. So, like, how good of a job did this man do yesterday? He should have easily had 4 assists.
Without a doubt. Amazing. Sorry, Dash. I don't know if
No,
you
you're good. You're good. No.
Yeah,
I was
go.
just nodding. You're good. You're the guest, man. Go for it.
Yeah, amazing. Easily, like you said, 5 or 6 assists. And to go off what Dash was saying with Vlahovic, had he scored, one of those chances, we're talking about 4 assists today. This guy, I think he's doing exactly what Allegri wanted him to do right now. And it's essentially dictate the attack and create all the plays. And, if he could keep it up, because yesterday he didn't even look fully fit in the beginning. Because at first I was like, he's not playing that well.
He
3
looked
assists-
injured.
Exactly. 3 assists later, and, it's a
Yeah.
different story. So imagine when he's like fully fit and, we're actually firing in all cylinders. It's, I think there's potential in this lineup, especially with Di Maria there.
Man, could you imagine if you got Pogba and Chiesa back in that lineup?
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly.
God, can't wait.
Allegri was so happy that you said that.
I know. But and the thing is, and this is going to be the moral of today's show, or the message of it. Players make plays. That's literally what Di Maria did. Great players make plays. You got to have players like that on your squad. Man City, most of those lobs that they're throwing in the box probably won't get scored with Gabriel Jesus. So I don't want to hear Pep Guardiola's system is the real reason. It's Holland, man. Dude's making plays.
Well, now it's nothing but
yeah,
insane.
Real Madrid, and this is going to get to a point because there were some tweets and some videos that I saw yesterday that kind of not griped me, but I'm kind of looking at it. I'm like, nah, you're just being petty. But we look at Real Madrid, Benzema, Vinny make plays. That's how they're winning. That's how they won yesterday. Leao with Milan makes plays. Not anything special. Milan's system isn't really anything special. They just come at you really hard, and that's it. Their players make plays. PSG against Maccabi Haifa, even with Benfica, even though they tied, but Messi made a play, took a shot, created his own shot, made a play. When you have playmakers on your team that create plays, things start changing. The game starts opening up for you. Things get a lot better for you. So seeing that, Di Maria is really starting to come into fruition where he's making these plays. Again, hopefully Vlahovic starts making these plays. You even start seeing play creation from Rabiot. So we're seeing it. It's starting to get there. Kudos to Di Maria. I mean, a lot of people were giving him negative slack, saying that he's just playing for the World Cup and he's, going to coast until the end of the season. I do believe I heard he's not renewing, so I think he's going to be out at the end of the season. But unfortunately, I'm just enjoying the ride right now. Just that's my only thing with Di Maria is just let's just enjoy what we got right now.
I think it's kind of good to know that he's saying, no, I'm just giving you the 1 year, but he is committing to that year. And yes, part of it is to get the World Cup, like to get into the team. Obviously, you need to be playing for a top team to do so. And that's what he's doing. But he still needs to play. I mean, we see Rabiot doing it. So does it matter? And I know there was a couple call-outs yesterday, and now is more of the form to get into the nitty-gritty. But when you are watching the game and you're in the moment, none of this matters. Who cares if he's playing for the World Cup or if he's playing for a contract? Because right now, They're linking up and they're putting it in the freaking net. So why do you even care? Just enjoy it because it's happening right now. Enjoy that moment, man. We're celebrating a bit more today than griping about it, of course.
I was gonna say it only becomes an issue when we're not playing well. If he's contributing to the squad, nobody's gonna care. But the moment that he's underperforming, he's always injured, then it's gonna be like, oh, he only came here for the World Cup. That's how it's always gonna be, that kind of perspective.
And and that's how it is of being a Juventus fan. It's either 100% or zero. There's no in between. I think I've noticed, and I think all three of us have noticed that, whether it be different commentators, different Twitter people, different whatever. It's interesting because, especially when you're into a fan base with the top club, there's no really a middle ground. There's always like either Di Maria's a World Cup hoe or he actually does care. So like it's one of those things where rocking a hard place. World Cup, Di Maria playing.
KB coming in. What he's got to say. Di Maria is what we needed. Sad Dybala was let go, but I feel Di Maria is what the team needed. Because he's, I believe so. Because Di Maria kind of has a purpose. I think the way, he's kind of that old school, as they say, that old school number 10 Dybala is, where he just kind of floats in that space. But that's not the game so much these days, especially in Italy. And he got locked down so much. But so now we have a more direct player in Di Maria. So in that sense, I'm going to agree 100%.
Yeah, I was going to say Di Maria is everything Dybala should have been. Just an amazing guy with a left foot that can cut in, move in with pace, or adjust on the wing, stretch the game out, slide a through ball. But Dybala got slow. That's honestly it. I think that's the one thing that hampered Dybala's game is just he's too slow. Because like Di Maria at his age is faster than Dybala. So you think about it, it's like,
and Di Maria slow.
Yeah, and people call Di Maria slow. So same with KB, totally get it right there, man. I honestly think Di Maria is literally what Dybala should have been, or what we've hoped for Dybala to be, but it just never happened. Whatever he does at Roma, he does at Roma. So
he scores and goes off injured.
That's Dybala everywhere.
Alex, what's your take on that?
In regards to Di Maria being better than Dybala, 100%.
All right, so we're all in agreement.
Yeah, I wish Dybala could have turned into something more and gone on to the trajectory. I'm gonna start slurring my words again. Like under Allegri at first, he was like a 20 goal a season, striker, and slowly his position kept dropping. Whatever, but like you said, Di Maria offers the directness that Dybala doesn't right now, and that's what we need, because in our team, it's like nobody wants to take the ball forward, and so that's exactly what Di Maria is doing,
and what Chiesa did too. So that's
exactly
when those two are going to be on the pitch together, and you just have two guys bombing off the wing, and that could work in any formation really. You put those guys in out wide, and watch out.
Great players make plays, guys. Same with this conversation. Great players make plays.
All right, let's keep it rolling. We have to keep this one short as well, guys. Sorry. We're either broken, mentally slowed down currently, or have prior engagements. You can guess who's who right now.
You're gonna say, hey, don't go into business ownership. It's a pain in the butt. It's like a child.
Yeah. And just a hint, one of us may be guilty of multiple offenses.
Yep.
So, anyways, I really want to point out positive or negative. I want to get rid of the negative stuff here. Keen, man, why?
Needs more minutes. That's all I can say. Needs more minutes.
That's what it is. It's the minutes.
Has no minutes. That's it. The thing is like he barely gets the minutes, and I'm not defending him or even doing anything with him, but Moise Kean, you look at him play, it's literally, this dude has not played minutes. This guy needs to seriously beg for a loan or a transfer somewhere else. Because, no offense to him, you're not getting the minutes. You're not that 19-year-old that's aspiring with the best 5 minutes of your life a couple years ago, where you're able to make something out of those 5 minutes because you're trying to get onto the team. More so, I think he just doesn't care, in my opinion. He has to leave. He needs minutes. He's got to get minutes somewhere, because this guy, the more he stays at Juve, the more his career is going to end. I don't know what his agent's going to do. Maybe they can find something to get him out of here in January, but It's evident and clear. Dude has no minutes, can't even play at all anymore. I mean,
He
he is
needs
just. It's
he
not even a.
needs
Yeah, go ahead.
sorry, yeah, he needs a mid-table EPL team like Everton.
No, I think he needs to go. No, I think he needs to go like mid-table. I think he needs to either go to like Spezia or Salernitana.
No, I just don't
That
think
low?
Yeah, I think so because the thing
No.
is like he's not going to start in Sassuolo. Like I don't think he'll start in Sassuolo. I'd be
I
surprised if he did.
I don't
Okay.
think
Or Udinese. You think he's going to take out De La Feo?
I
No.
mean, different player, but
Yeah,
I know your point. Yeah, yeah, I get what you mean. But I don't think he's that low. He was a starter
Yeah.
at PSG
Yeah, that's a
if he
little
wasn't
rough. I don't
So
know.
so the thing is like I don't mean it as in like his skill level is low, but I think if he goes to like a Monza or a Salernitana, he's gonna be the man.
yeah,
Monza might be
Like
too good for him now, even,
like
you know?
like well, I
2
get that.
wins.
Wow. But like the reason why I'm saying it because like Keane needs like a jump start. Kind of like how Tammy Abraham went to Roma from Chelsea to Roma. And again, different skill level. I think Tammy's a more complete player than Keane is. But like the thing is you take Tammy Abraham, you put him in Roma where he was the guy last season. Like there was no Dybala, Dzeko was gone, Mkhitaryan was kind of not consistent, and Zaniolo is of course Zaniolo. So like you have Tammy Abraham there where the balls are going to him and he's getting fed and he's the target man. Where if you take Keane and you put him in a squad like that where he's able to be that, where he's able to do that, um, that's where Keane is going to be able to essentially jumpstart his career because I don't think Keane is suited for the Premier League in my opinion. I think he's good for an Italian league team because he went to Everton. Everton's a mid-table team in the Prem, flopped, couldn't handle it. Dude wouldn't even want to learn English. That's some of the issues that they had with him there and took 2 coaches. Even the coach before Ancelotti came in was like, "Yeah, I can't use this guy." And even when Carlo was there, he's like, "I can't use this guy." And I think PSG went to his head, and he thought he was entitled because again, he was playing against Farmers as a backup to Neymar and Mbappe. So like he would come in and play against these teams and score. I mean, like Mario Balotelli scored a crap ton of goals for Nice, went to Brescia, and then absolutely flopped and got kicked out. So I mean, going from Ligue 1 to Serie A, I mean, right now the only external or the odd one out is Milik because Milik is somehow performing. But I think more so it was just because people were down on Milik because of his injuries, not his skill level.
Your
But
hate for League is like my hate for the EPL.
yeah, I mean, don't get me started on roasting the EPL. I think they have no tactics and they're just a bunch of guys that run
Okay,
up and
hold on.
down.
I didn't mean to unload this one.
I
Sorry.
know. I'm just saying. Hey, they
Gonna be a
don't
long
have.
episode.
Yeah, they
Yeah, I
don't
thought we are
have.
gonna go short on this one. What's going on?
They have no defense, and no one can prove me otherwise. Premier League teams are the worst defensively organized squads I've ever seen. But
Well, there's a whole Reddit community out there that will say otherwise, of course. But
hey, I'm just saying, Liverpool got dropped for 5 against Napoli, and that's all you got to say.
yeah. Anyways, because I do want to move this on. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to keep focused tonight. So second last point. We'll start with Alex here. Locatelli, solid off the bench. What do you think?
I liked what he did. I thought he offered a lot more compared to McKennie, obviously. But then again, if you want to talk about comparing the players, what McKennie does is something different than Locatelli. But I like him much more as a box to box. But saying that, I was kind of disappointed with Paredes' performance yesterday because I feel
Yeah.
like I didn't really see much from him. And
Yeah,
I
he
felt like,
was. Yeah, it's like I agree. Yeah, he wasn't really there.
yeah, exactly. And against Bologna, I felt like Locatelli played well. So at this point, I think Locatelli should be starting because, especially off the bench, his performance. I'm starting again off the bench. All right, whatever. You got the point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dash. Go ahead.
yeah, I do agree with it. I think Allegri's kind of starting or not. I'm saying Pellegrini. Jesus, Locatelli off nice and slow. I think because I think he ran Locatelli's legs into the ground last year for sure. So I think he's definitely taking it nice and easy with him. He doesn't want to overwhelm him, doesn't want to overwork his legs. I think he's kind of just because Locatelli was a little bit injured coming in, so I think he's kind of slowly jumping him into it. He plays better than McKennie because again he can do more than McKennie. He can possess the ball, move and pass, etc. I think Paredes was a little bit chained up because he had to cover for Cuadrado defensively a couple of times. There's the one save where Paredes literally was on the ground, laying on the ground, and threw his back into a shot to block it.
Yeah, the camel save, Harch in
The
the
camel,
back.
the camel save, and I think the reason why Paredes, and it was the weird way that we attacked yesterday, and we caught it on the watch along that we called out, was especially in the first half, most of our counterattacks were going through Cuadrado. I don't know why, whose idea it was to pass him the ball instead of Paredes, but essentially Cuadrado put Paredes in his pocket offensively, and Paredes had to cover him defensively because Cuadrado's legs are done. But yeah, I think Locatelli coming off the bench is actually a good thing for us because it's a nice change of pace substitute. Even when we get our full squad back midfield wise, I still don't see him as a starter just because Rabiot, Paredes, and Pogba are going to start. But
Super sub.
yeah, having him in as a super sub's not bad. We've advocated that for Milik since the start of the season, and look how that's working out for us. So
now he's probably a starter at this point.
yeah, he is, and it's what you want, in all honesty. And one of the reasons why, and people might call us crazy, but one of the reasons why Dave and I were kind of looking at the option of adding Pulisic or even maybe Asensio, where it's like it's a nice sub that you bring in. Again, it brings competition, and I think our midfield room is going to improve drastically because of the competition that's in the midfield room itself, with Rabiot, with Pogba, with Locatelli, with Paredes, with McKennie, with Miretti. That's 6 solid players right there that will compete for a starting gig. They're going to work harder in training because they want to play, they want to start. So having that there is not a bad thing at all. And I think having in Locatelli, like for example, say that we ran the same midfield against Milan that we started today. Could you imagine Milan's reaction where they have to bring, where they're like, crap, these guys are bringing in Locatelli versus last season when we were bringing in nobody. So I think it's good. I think it's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah,
Bringing in Arthur.
Yeah, Arthur.
Arthur, man. KB saying Quad is done, no longer European football quality. I mean, he can take over Higuain's spot there in Miami, perhaps. And yeah, Bones thinking we should get Pulisic as well. So there's some agreements out there. But Dash, I know you got to go real quick. Your last point, it's more just a fact. We can argue it a bit if you want. But allegedly, Nedved is quoted saying that Allegri was never close to being fired. Is that just BS, or is that like the actual God's honest truth?
I believe it. I believe it's the truth, yeah. Because, like everyone's saying, they invested too much money into this project, being Allegri with the contract, and especially after you just bought all the players he wanted, how do you just turn around after 2 months and try to sack him and start over again? So
yeah.
I know Nedved's, doesn't like Allegri, but I believe it.
Yeah, for me, I don't see Juve firing a coach midseason. It just wouldn't make sense to me. Even anything, I don't think so. I think there's some more issues that they're revisiting and looking at, but I would have been shocked if he got fired because who would you have replaced him with? With nobody. I don't understand why people were thinking about bringing the under-19 coach in Montero, and I was like, seriously? Because he's not even the next-gen coach. He's the under-19 coach, the Primavera coach.
Yeah.
So that would have been absolutely bonkers. And then who are you going to get? De Zerbi? Like, it wouldn't have made sense because then you're risking finishing in a really bad spot. But I never believed it. I always thought it's tabloids. I do have moments where I'm pissed off at Allegri where I'm like, dude, come on, man, seriously. And, there's some moments where you give him kudos. I mean, this is back-to-back games that he scored 3 goals and 6 goals in 2 games. That's not bad at all, especially for people that call someone that plays dinosaur tactics. I mean, he still got 3 in both games. So it wasn't pretty. We're not sitting here saying that we're playing beautiful tiki-taka, but again, we need results. You got to build momentum. I kind of said it last night or yesterday during our thing. I said, guys, right now there isn't a style that we're playing because we've been getting our butts kicked for an entire month. I mean, how is the team going to have a style even though we're getting our asses whipped? I mean,
that is their style. Is just bending over,
just bending over and taking it.
Face down, ass up.
No, the style or the grinta or the whatever, the personality that people want, that's going to take 4 or 5 consecutive wins. That's going to take us stringing together some points, some performances where then, like, 6, 7 weeks later, we can sit back and say, I got you. This team is playing aggressive, nitty gritty. If we concede, we're still going to hit you hard. If we do this, we do that, because we'll have reference experience. So, like, some of the things that I saw, and I was getting really irritated, where people were complaining about individual performances last night. Oh, like, oh, it was a Di Maria individual performance. This team still played like crap. Okay, so the past couple of weeks where everyone was complaining about Di Maria not performing, now you're saying that, oh, it was just an individual performance.
It's
So
just focusing on the negatives instead of focusing on the positives.
yeah,
I mean,
and
you can pick anything apart if you want.
and I understand, and like the thing is, and I get being a fanatic and being a fan and loving your squad, but at this point, that just sounds petty. Like it's kind of like how Alex made it in his Bologna video, where he was like, even though we won, we did this. There's always going to be Juventini that whine and complain about it, and it's just like it gets to the point where it's like you listen to some of the complaints or the arguments, and you're like, dude, like
But they have that whole confirmation bias too, because they coalesce in their own little groups, right? It's like they echo. It's an echo chamber. So they just feed off each other. And I mean, we've all been caught to it to some effect, right? Like how many people were putting the hate on Milik? I mean, I don't know what you were like, Alex, but I mean, me and Dash were one of the few that were not like pro, just like kind of open to it.
Yeah,
And we
I
got
was as well.
there you go. But it wasn't like full out, yeah, let's go Milik, because you kind of get sucked into like everyone else is saying he's crap. So you kind of like get more reserved and change your biases
Yeah.
a bit, right?
And we did our research, and then like Dave and I were like, we think it's not a bad move. Sit tight, let's give it a couple of games. And then I think it was one of us that said the game that he was going to play, we're like, I think he's scoring this game, and then I think he's going to start turning heads. And then he started doing it, he started going on a roll. And I think that's what we should do with this this kickstart, this little spark that we have, because there is a spark, whether or not you guys want to admit it or not. There is a spark with this team going on right now. I saw the spark when they scored that third goal against Maccabi, where, hey, I said this with Rabona TV, where I said this team's biggest weakness is not handling conceding, because that's what happened against Benfica. They scored on us. We completely shit ourselves after. So we got scored on, and it was a really, really stupid goal. We didn't crap our pants. We pushed forward. We forced a couple of corners. Vlahovic got a couple of shots off that he missed, but again, forced the shots. Even when we were up 3-1, Keane still took the ball and tried to score, even though it was an absolute dumpster fire of a finish, but he still did it. That's the thing. I think we need to sit back, wait and see. I'm not going to sit here and say the Milan game is going to be a make or break, because, again, remember, we're going to the San Siro. It's not easy to play. They're going to have 70, 80,000 people in there because, again, they have fans now because they're actually doing decent. So it's going to be a big atmosphere. It's going to be a good test. But if we, tie or lose or whatever happens, you can't just sit here and be like, oh, my God, same old Juve, same old garbage, blah, blah, blah. Relax. I'm going to tell this to everyone. I'm going to do what Allegri does. Calma. Chill, because I think we're going in the right direction. I still think we need a little bit more time before we can give a full-on verdict, but we're seeing the signs, and I understand people are a little bit concerned with the mentality of the team, saying that it's fragile, but you can't go from a fragile mentality, because, guys, month of September, this team was broken. They were gone. It's easy to say gone. So you can't sit here and say one international break later, I'm 100% mentally solid. It's going to be small little tests. It's going to be that goal conceded against Maccabi. It's going to be a 1-1 game in Milan, and we need to push for that 2-1 because we have a shot at it. It's going to be those little battles like that. It's going to be, hey, can we shut down Anatovic against Bologna, which they did a phenomenal job in doing? Hey, can we win the Derby della Mole? Hey, can we get something out of this away game at Maccabi? Hey, can we start doing something with Benfica? We need to it's going to be one of those chips. I like to look at it a game at a time. I don't want to look at the table. Don't really care right now. Just let's focus at it. Take it one step at a time. Just keep building forward, building forward. And then even us three as commentators, we'll sit down. We'll say, hey, we thought this was going to happen. We were wrong. It went over here. Or, hey, we did this, or it goes over here. So I want to just tell everyone, don't buy everything you see on Twitter, or even some other content creators that will spew like this one-way agenda. I don't want to say agenda, but this one-way kind of mentality where, oh, hey, there's some signs, but we're still crap. Like, I don't like it. I think we should just take it one step at a time. And then once we get through a certain phase, then we can critique it, evaluate it, and go from there.
But I mean, it is our job to critique it, so we're gonna do it anyways. But yeah, that was the end of our talking points. Dash, try to get you out of here. Alex, is there any final parting words you want to throw in there?
Nothing besides support Turin Giants and support that Culture Boy.
Yeah, both of them for sure. Anyways, I know we didn't really pay too much attention to your comments today. I'm sorry. Me and Dash are actually going to come in tomorrow at 11. It's 11 we're doing, right? Okay, tomorrow at 11. That's Eastern. A little bit earlier. It's Canadian Thanksgiving. I'm not going to be around all week, and it's what we can do. So I'm sorry. We'll catch you again real quick. I'm going to hit some music. You got time to do it?
Oh, I got time to do it. I can do the thing.
All right, guys.
All right, everybody. Even though we may have played a little bit crappy, we still got the W. And the truth is we're going to try to keep a level head, try to keep it nice and smooth, nice and easy, lemon squeezy while we're trudging on forward. We're going to go see Milan. We're going to tell them that their fashion sucks and also that the San Siro is a terrible stadium. So on that note, everybody, catch us for our pregame show. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks to that Calcio Boy for stepping in and talking with us today. Alex, we love you. We appreciate you. Thanks to everybody, KB, Bones, Sharif, even the new guy, NES Techno, for just stopping by. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you. Thanks again, Alex. Forza Juve, fino alla fine. See you tomorrow.